Hello, everyone. My name is Infinity, and this is Magnetize Yourself, where we talk about life, love, spirituality, and, of course, the law of attraction. Today, we're going to be talking about Dr. Emoto's water experiments and how these experiments show us that water can be an incredibly powerful manifestation tool. If you're not yet manifesting with water, by the end of this video, I will convince you that not only is it possible to manifest with water, but it's incredibly powerful when you do. Most of our planet is made up of water. Not only that, but most of our physical bodies are made up of water. In fact, science has proven that 60% of the adult human body is entirely water. What does this mean in our own manifestation practices? This means that if we can find a way to harness the power of water, we can literally use water to transform our physical bodies, to transform our energy field, and pull the thing that we're trying to manifest into our life with a powerful, gravitational kind of force. If you're ready to manifest that thing into your life with as much power as gravity itself, type in the comments below, "I'm ready." Before we learn a powerful water manifestation technique you can use today using literally nothing but a glass of water, first we need to talk about why it is possible to manifest with water. We need to talk about Dr. Emoto's water experiment and what they mean for you and I. Dr. Emoto was an incredible human being. He had a hypothesis that water has the power to absorb our vibrations and intentions. With his experiments, he set out to prove this, and he did prove this in a very, very powerful way. What Dr. Emoto did was he took 2 glasses of water. One we could call the positive glass. The other we could call the negative glass. In the positive glass, he exposed the water to positive thoughts, words, energies, music. There was a whole series of experiments. So in some of these experiments, he exposed the water to positive music, like classical music. In other experiments, he exposed this water to positive words. So he would have a room full of people say positive things to the water. And in still other experiments, he would simply tape a piece of paper to the glass of water with a particular word on it, such as love. On the other hand, on the negative glass of water, he would do the complete opposite. So he would have a room full of people shout negative, hateful words at the water. Or he would tape a piece of paper with a very negative word on it, such as hate or disgust. In other instances, he would expose this negative glass of water to dark, I guess we could call negative music, certain types of rock music or metal music. The results of this experiment were nothing short of earth-shattering. Dr. Emoto froze both glasses of water after putting this intention, either positive or negative, into the water. When he froze the water, he then examined it under a microscope. He observed the molecular structure of the water. What he found is that in the positive water, I guess what we could call the positive glass of water, the water that contained the positive intention, the molecular structure was absolutely beautiful. If you want to see pictures of the structure of these molecules, you can check out my blog post that will be linked in the description box. And if you scroll to the middle of the post, you can clearly see in the photograph how the water that was exposed to positive thoughts and intentions took on a very beautiful shape and structure. It looked almost like geometric sorts of shapes and figures. It was beautiful. In contrast, the frozen water that had been conditioned by negative thoughts and intentions took on chaotic shapes, very ugly shapes and structures. This proves beyond a shadow of a doubt that water has the ability to absorb our thoughts, energies, and intentions. Not only our energies, but the energies around it. Simply being exposed to certain types of music would change the structure of this water. So this tells us that the structure of water is very malleable. The molecular structure can change based on the environment that the water is placed in, especially the words spoken to it, the intentions spoken to it, or even thought to it. What does this mean for us? This means that water is a very powerful manifestation tool that, if used properly, water can assist us in manifesting anything we desire in our own lives. If water can take on the shape and structure of positive or negative words, just imagine what it can do to our physical bodies when we drink it. This is the basis for this extremely powerful water manifestation technique. All you need for this technique is a glass of water. It doesn't matter whether it's tap water, spring water, any kind of water will work. The reason that any kind of water will work is because we are literally transforming the water by putting a new intention into it. So the current state of the water really doesn't matter in this experiment. There are several different ways that you can go about putting an intention into this water. I've narrowed it down to 3 top techniques. So these are 3 ways that you can put an intention into this glass of water, just like Dr. Emoto did in his experiment. Number 1, you can speak affirmations to your glass of water. Now, this might sound a little strange, but Dr. Emoto has proven to us that this absolutely works. If you're familiar with speaking affirmations in a mirror, this technique is exactly the same, except instead of speaking to a mirror, we are speaking at or into a glass of water. Be sure that these affirmations are always spoken in the positive, so statements like I am or I have, rather than I will or I want. The second way to put a kind of intention into your water is by exposing your water to some kind of positive soundtrack. So my favorite kind of track to charge your water with positive intention is a subliminal affirmations track. What I like to do is play subliminal affirmations for about 15 to 20 minutes right beside the water. So if I'm playing a track on my phone, I'll place it next to the water on a table, and I'll just let it play for 15 or 20 minutes when I'm sitting there next to it so that I'm also receiving the benefits of the affirmations. And I find that this very powerfully and effectively charges up the water with this positive intention. In fact, this second technique is my absolute favorite. And although I will sometimes use it in conjunction with techniques 1 or 3, I always, always, always use this technique in my water manifestation practice. We've actually created an entire library of subliminal affirmation tracks that are incredibly powerful and that you can use with this water manifestation technique. If you'd like to get 7 days of completely free access to all of those tracks, check out the link in the description box. The third technique that you can use to put a positive intention into your water is to basically put thought forms, positive thought forms or intentions into the water. This is a nonverbal technique. So for this technique, you won't actually be speaking to the water. You'll simply hold the glass of water in your hands. I usually like to close my eyes or just focus intently on the water while I do this. And you simply begin to visualize the thing that you desire as if it's already happening. Let yourself think about it and feel it in your body, feel it in your energy as if it's actually manifested around you. And as you're doing this, imagine that you're channeling these positive thoughts, ideas, and images directly into the glass of water. Like I said, for best results, I would recommend combining techniques. So I personally like to always use the second technique using the subliminal affirmations. But then sometimes while I'm playing that track and charging up the water, so to speak, I will also speak aloud affirmations, or I will visualize and imagine channeling positive thoughts into the water. Once you've used your selected technique and put this positive intention into your water, the next step is simply to drink the water. You can drink the entire glass of water at once, or you can take sips of water throughout the day. Now, an important note here. Dr. Emoto's experiments show us that water takes on the form of what is around it. So this means that the effects do wear off. Over time, the water will begin to absorb new things, or it will lose its positive charge, so to speak. So in order to maintain that positive charge and experience that effect in your body, if you wait too long after doing this practice, you may need to put a new positive intention into the water. So you may need to recharge it by playing an affirmations track beside it again for about 20 minutes, or you may need to speak affirmations into the water before taking sips of it. But just be sure to recharge your water with new positive intentions if you let it sit out for too long. And there you have it. Like I said, this is the easiest and, for me, the most effective manifestation technique I've ever come across. I can't wait to hear about all the positive results you experience using this technique, so be sure to leave me a comment below. Let me know what you're going to manifest using the water manifestation technique. And also share your results with me and our entire community here so we can all be encouraged and inspired by the results that you receive in your own life. Thank you for listening to this podcast. If you resonated with my message, I hope you'll consider subscribing to my channel. Also, like I mentioned earlier in the video, be sure to check out our sister site, soundandsoulful.com, where we have a library of over 65 incredibly powerful subliminal affirmations tracks. I've found in my own life that subliminals are a very powerful and effective way to create change in your life and manifest anything you desire faster than ever before. So be sure to check out the description box to learn more about that. Thank you for listening. I hope you have an absolutely wonderful day, and I'll see you again in our next podcast.